If you are a dreamer, come in. If you're a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. If you're a pretender, come sit by the fire, for we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in, come in. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of action, and the energy of action. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ogden. My name is Dylan Zwick, and I am glad to be leading worship today. Now, here's my plan. We've had to rearrange our service today, and so instead of our usual Good Trouble service, we're going to have a Making Meaning service built around the zany, subversive, innocently deranged poetry of Shel Silverstein. If you're a newcomer, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We encourage you to fill out a newcomer card in the pews and put it in the offering basket when it comes by later. And please stay and chat with us after the service. If you're joining us online, hello, please fill out the newcomer card online. If you've been a long-time member of the congregation, we encourage you to wear your name tag. This helps everyone feel more connected and helps our newcomers get to know you more easily. If you haven't already, please put your phones on silent, and please remember there are 2 exits from this room and 2 exits from the building in each direction. We are so glad each and every one of you is here. Welcome. Shel Silverstein was born in Chicago in 1930 and died in Key West, Florida in 1999. He took up drawing as a teenager because, in his words, he wasn't great at baseball and wasn't a hit with the girls. He was drafted into the Army in 1950 and served in Japan and Korea. His first cartoons were published in the Roosevelt Torch, the student newspaper at Roosevelt University, and then in Pacific Stars and Stripes while he was in the Army. In 1957, he became one of the leading cartoonists for a new magazine called Playboy, which also sent him around the world creating illustrated travel journals, some of those articles for which that magazine was so well known. He also started publishing cartoons in other magazines, including his most famous, seen here, which first appeared in The New Yorker. However, his greatest success came not as a cartoonist or as a writer for adult magazines, but as a poet and illustrator of children's books. He wrote his most famous book, The Giving Tree, in 1964, about the selfless love of a tree for a young boy who, over the course of a book, grows to be an old man. In the 60s, Silverstein also wrote the lyrics to one of Johnny Cash's biggest hits, A Boy Named Sue, which was playing here right before the start of the service. The works that introduced me to Shel Silverstein, and the ones from which we'll be reading here today, are his books of children's poetry. These books, particularly Where the Sidewalk Ends and A Light in the Attic, I remember as the books we'd always fight over in elementary school when it was reading time at the library. Full of funny, bizarre, whimsical, strange, subversive, and inspiring poems that work so well when read aloud. These poems and corresponding drawings are indelibly etched into my memory. And this morning I'd like to invite you to join me in reading some with and to the congregation. My plan is this. In this basket are a collection of Shel Silverstein poems. If you're willing and able, pick one, read through it, and decide if you'd like to read it to the congregation. If so, please come up here and do so. If not, maybe put it back and try again. I'm hoping everybody who wants to read can do so, but if needed, reading more than one is fine. We've got about 15 here, and I'm hoping we can read them all. Grab a poem. All right. I'm going to break the ice by reading one of my favorite poems from childhood called Hippo's Hope. It has 3 different endings. There once was a hippo who wanted to fly. Fly, Heidi, try, Heidi, my Heidi-ho. So he sewed him some wings that could flap through the sky. Sky, Heidi, fly, Heidi, why, Heidi, go. He climbed to the top of a mountain of snow. Snow, Heidi, slow, Heidi, oh, Heidi-ho. With the clouds high above and the sea down below. Where, Heidi, there, Heidi, scare, Heidi-boo. The happy ending. And he flipped and he flapped and he bellowed so loud. Now, Heidi, loud, loud, Heidi, proud Heidi poop. And he sailed like an eagle off into the clouds. Hi, Heidi, fly, Heidi, bye, Heidi boop. The unhappy ending. And he leapt like a frog. And he fell like a stone. Stone, Heidi, lone, Heidi, own, Heidi, flop. And he crashed and he drowned and he broke all his bones. Bones, Heidi, moans, Heidi, groans, Heidi, glop. The chicken ending. He looked at the sky and looked down at the sea. See, Heidi, free, Heidi, wee, Heidi, way. And he turned and went home and had cookies and tea. That's Heidi, all Heidi, I have to say.
Mine is titled Clarence. Clarence Lee from Tennessee loved the commercials he saw on TV. He watched with wide, unbelieving eyes and bought everything they advertised. Cream to make his skin feel better, spray to make his hair look wetter, bleach to make his white things whiter, stylish jeans to fit much tighter, toothpaste for his cavities, powder for his doggy's fleas, purple mouthwash for his breath, deodorant to stop his sweat. He bought each cereal they presented, bought each game they invented. Then one day he looked and saw a brand new maw, a better paw, new, improved in every way. Hurry, order yours today. So, of course, our little Clarence sent off for 2 brand new parents. Hurry, order yours today. The new ones came in the morning mail. The old ones, he sold at a garage sale, probably cheap. And now they're all doing fine. His new folks treat him sweet and kind. His old ones now work in an old coal mine. So if your ma and pa are mean and make you eat your lima beans and make you wash and make you wait and never let you stay up late and scream and scold and preach and pout, that simply means they're wearing out. So send off for 2 brand new parents, and you'll be happy as little Clarence.
I don't speak loud, so if you can't hear me, raise your hand, okay? I really like this one, and I just picked it randomly. It's called The Peace Proposal. Said General Clay to General Gore, "Really, must we fight this silly war? To kill and to die is such a bore." "I quite agree," said General Gore. Said General Gore to General Clay, "We could go to the beach today and have some ice cream on the way." "A grand idea," said General Clay. Said General Clay to General Gore, "We'll build sandcastles on the shore." Said General Gore, "We'll splash and we'll play, and let's leave right now," said General Clay. Said General Gore to General Clay, "But what if the seas close today? And what if the sand has been blown away by the dreadful thought?" said General Clay. Said General Gore to General Clay, "I've always feared that the ocean spray, and we may drown. It's true, we may, it chills my blood." And said General Clay to General Gore, "My bathing suit is slightly tore. We better go on with our war. "I quite agree," said General Gore. So General Clay charged General Gore as bullets flew and cannons roared, and now at last there is no more of General Clay or General Gore.
It says, "What if? Last night while I lay thinking here, some what ifs crawled inside my ear and pranced and partied all night long and sang their same old what if song. What if I'm dumb in school? What if they've closed the swimming pool? What if I get beat up? What if there's poison in my cup? What if I start to cry? What if I get sick and die? What if I flunk that test? What if green hair grows out my chest? What if nobody likes me? What if a bolt of lightning strikes me? What if I don't grow taller? What if my head starts getting smaller? What if the fish won't bite? What if the wind tears up my kite? What if they start a war? What if my parents get divorced? What if the bus is late? What if my teeth don't grow in straight? What if I tear my pants? What if I never learn to dance? Everything seems well. And then the nighttime what ifs strike again.
Falling Up by Shel Silverstein. I tripped on my shoelaces and fell up to the rooftops, up over the town, up past the treetops, up over the mountains, up where the colors blend into the sounds, but it got me so dizzy when I looked around, I got sick to my stomach and threw down.
This one is called Hug of War. I will not play at tug-of-war. I'd rather play at hug-a-war, when everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins, and everyone cuddles and everyone wins.
The little boy and the old man. Said the little boy, sometimes I drop my spoon. Said the old man, I do that too. The little boy whispered, I wet my pants. I do that too, laughed the little old man. Said the little boy, I often cry. The old man nodded, so do I. But worst of all, said the boy, it seems grown-ups don't pay attention to me. And he felt the warmth of the wrinkled old hand. I know what you mean, said the little old man.
This is called Forgotten Language. I was reading through it. I always try to understand poetry. Sometimes it goes over my head, but it seems like someone older, maybe remembering his or her youth. Once I spoke the language of the flowers. Once I understood each word the caterpillar said. Once I smiled in secret at the gossip of the starlings and shared a conversation with the housefly in my bed. Once I heard and answered all the questions of the crickets and joined the crying of each falling, dying flake of snow. Once I spoke the language of the flowers. How did it go? How did it go?
The title of mine is Underface. Underneath my outside face, there's a face that none can see. A little less smiley, a little less sure, but a whole lot more like me.
I've got two here. This one's called Masks. She had blue skin, and so did he. He kept it hid, and so did she. They searched for blue their whole life through, then passed right by and never knew. And this one's called No Difference. Small as a peanut, big as a giant, we're all the same size when we turn off the light. Rich as a sultan, poor as a mite, we're all worth the same when we turn off the light. Red, black, or orange, yellow, or white, we're all the same when we turn off the light. So maybe the way to make everything right is for God to just reach out and turn off the light. I also have two. This is Listen to the Mustn'ts. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves, then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. And this one's called Standing is Stupid. Standing is stupid. Crawling's a curse. Skipping is silly. Walking is worse. Hopping is hopeless. Jumping's a chore. Sitting is senseless. Leaning's a bore. Running's ridiculous, jogging's insane. Guess I'll go upstairs and lie down again.
Oh, one more?
The voice. The voice. There's a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent or friend, or wise man can decide what is right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside.
Thank you, everybody who took part in by reading a poem or two. And thank you, everybody else, for listening. We continue our collective prayer by coming forward to engage in our weekly ritual that helps us to collectively hold the challenges and joys of being human. As you light a candle, let it hold your hopes, memories, and gratitudes for this beautiful, complicated world and for our lives. As you drop a stone in what is usually our sacred gathered waters, in our very soon-to-be sacred gathered waters, may it be an opportunity to imagine those burdens and quests for forgiveness held in a community that will let the stone land with care and intention. Please wait just a moment and then come forward. Our offering is a practice of gratitude for this community filled with care and courage, love and resistance. We commit to keeping this community resourced for the ministries ahead, both in our walls and beyond. The offering we collect each week supports us in being the community that can best respond to the needs of these times. As we collect our offering today, we remember our interconnectedness and interdependence, and we generously offer our care with hopes to support all through these times. and facing the center aisle, sing together the offering song printed in your order of service. Your abundant generosity is part of modeling care and love. Thank you. Some announcements. February's potluck video gathering will be held at the home of Renee Quick Ratchford and Braven Dyer at 6 o'clock p.m. this coming Friday, February 13th. Please come and bring a potluck dish to share. The movie will be the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Our book club has selections for the following 3 months. On February 18th, they will be meeting here in the library, and the book for this month is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Next month, the book club will be meeting on March 18th, and the book is a nonfiction piece, Let Them, by Mel Robbins. And then in April, we'll be meeting on April 15th, Tax Day, and reading James by Percival Everett. And finally, some community ones. Come learn how to lobby for Great Salt Lake. Each Monday during the legislative session from January 26th to March 2nd and from 9 a.m. to noon. You will join folks from Grow the Flow, Stewardship Utah, the Sierra Club, the Center for Biological Diversity, and Save Our Great Salt Lake in this educational and effective endeavor. And then finally, as always, Codger Coffee meets every Friday at 9:30 a.m. at Grounds for Coffee on Harrison Boulevard. All right, for our closing hymn today, it's number 303, We Are the Earth, Upright and Proud. And so that's number 303 in your hardback, Singing the Living Tradition. as the service comes to an end, join me in saying the chalice extinguishing words in your order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please join us for coffee and conversation across the hall in the Geneva room. Thank you all for coming.